Welcome to Moonlight Madness, and this is tarot reading for the sign of Virgo, Sun, Moon, Rising, November 2021. And we're using the Fairy Tarot decks by Doreen Virtue. And we are using the Enchanted map by Colette-Baron-Reid. And I'm also using Wisdom of the Oracle by Colette-Baron-Reid. I bought most of these decks from Rainbow Runner, except the Queen of the Fairy Tarot. I didn't buy it from there, I don't think. And I got a Healing Smudge Stick from Rainbow Runner and all my crystals from Rainbow Runner. And I got my Bird of Paradise courtesy of finding it on the way home last night, which I just felt it was really nice to put in the water. Apparently it's good for protection of your aura and sort of it strengthens your aura against vampires, energy vampires. Okay, so the first card I pulled is for the sign of Virgo, which is an earth sign, is the Ace of Autumn. That was like a bag of money, a windfall of money, advice or assistance from others, a very special project, a happy change in your career, the beginning, it could be the beginning of a new job or a contract. You may be signing a job which will go on for a year, which is fantastic. You've got like solid contractual work for 1 year. That's what I'm picking up for some of you. You may be like an air sign with Virgo in your chart. You may also be an air sign with water in your chart because you've got crossing you the Queen of Summer. This could be male or female. Doesn't have to be. They're usually nurses, carers, or aged care workers. They work with people's emotions and they get very tired from it. So you might see a very tired, exhausted, drained person at the end of the day because they're busy running around looking after everyone else. And that's the role of a carer. They suffer with burnout quite often. They're loving, they're comforting, they're emotional, they're intuitive, and you can trust them. Perhaps they take too many people under their wings. Like they might just be the dumping ground for people's thoughts and emotions when really they should go off and see a counsellor or ring up Lifeline like I do. I go to a counsellor. I'm not a trained counsellor, but I try to help them where I can, just from reading online stuff and whenever people come to me, I try to help. But, I'm not trained, so I just have a good ear. I was trained to be a beauty therapist, and put in quotation therapist, because half the time I was listening to people's problems, and it was usually when they were at their most vulnerable. They come there for mothering. That's what I think beauty therapist's role is. It's to mother and to care for. And if you're not that sort of person, you shouldn't be in the game. That's what I think. So that's what I found with beauty therapy. So it's usually a Cancer, Pisces, or Scorpio energy around you. They could be older, or they could be older in the head than you. That's a possibility too. They might be presenting as a queen, but really they're just a princess. So they might have come into their power in the past, and they're protecting you. They're protective of you. In the past, you had Libra, Aquarius, Gemini person around you, whether it be a friend or family member who's younger than you, or may be a little immature or think like a younger person. So you might be able to relate to them really well, which is a good thing. You've got on their page, and they're around you. They were in the past. That was about a year ago, so the recent past. And it's to do with someone who's realistic, truthful, probably a little bit blunt. They speak the truth with kindness, but they sometimes come across abrupt, so be careful. Their words can be sharp, their tongue can be sharp. They might deliver the message in the wrong way and regret saying what they said in the heat of the moment. So they just get very frustrated with people and places and objects around them that might not measure up, or they might feel attacked, so that if they come across hurt, then they might hurt you. They might lash out. That's in the past. They may have gone through a grief, and maybe they've come out the other end and they're different now. We've got a Queen of Swords. This is the recent past. This is the princess who's grown into the queen by having to be independent and have to do things on their own. I get that maybe they've got, they've had a rough start to their journey as a child, so maybe they've got past trauma, and now they've had to heal something within them, whether it be spiritually, emotionally, or intellectually. But now they're self-sufficient, they're independent, and they don't need anyone. And they may come off as a little bit cool, calm, and collected, and like they don't need anyone, but they might come off like Frozen, the princess that lives up in the tower. But they just, I guess, they just get so overcome with emotion that they wall themselves up in this ice castle to protect themselves. So it says here they will deliver messages, but not always in the right way. That might come out in the wrong way, but they don't mean to. They actually do care. They just deliver it wrong. They're usually good at talking with others. They're patient. They're strong. They focus on career. They might have been very career focused in the past. So it says now that maybe they've changed. Their career is not their focus anymore, and their family is their focus, which means it's a good work-life health balance is what you need. The 3 of Spring is a really good card too. This is like 3 ships that are waiting to come in. You may have 3 opportunities that's coming your way for Virgo. Keep an eye to the long term. Have patience. There are more good things to come. And maybe, a job has been well done and you're being rewarded. You might be asked to go along and figure out which job you want to have, which direction you want to take, because you've got many directions opening up to you, many paths that lead to Rome. And you've got here the cherry blossom, which is usually representative of Japan. So some of you may be going to Japan in not 3 months, but you might have an offer to work overseas that I'm getting for some people. So that's really cool. Or working with diverse cultural people, which means you've got a better understanding of how that person ticks. It's a psychological observation that you've probably made in your past from dealing with diverse cultures, and by working with them and understanding where their head's at, you can come to an amicable arrangement if you're in a living situation or sharing house with someone. So I'm just going to read out of the Flower by Doreen Virtue, Flower Therapy, and it will come cherry blossoms, which I think is very cool. And she talks about using tinctures. But I used to work with a Japanese company called Shiseido, and we had this beautiful body cream. Oh, it was to die for. It was worth about $60 at the time. It's probably gone up now. But he used it out the back when I used to do massages, and it was for the upper body, the décollage, and it was cherry blossoms, and it was the most amazing smell. And it used to calm me down. I don't know what it was about the cherry blossom that calmed me down, but it was just this whole very feminine smell to it. And I don't know if you know Japanese and Chinese cultures, they tend to really play up on the body lotions. Like, it's all about the skin and the body. And Shiseido is a skin and body company. It's not really a colour house. They have expanded, but I did find that the skincare was top quality, one of the best. I loved it. Ibuki, I think, was one of it. It was yoga for the skin, and that was made with in a jar, in a glass jar. They use glass jars. That's when you know it's high end quality. And it's 7 years to make the product, so you know you're getting a good product. So Japanese cherry is enhancing romance, relationships, finding out the true intentions of your partner. It's the heart chakra. Speak clearly with heartfelt intentions. There's no need for you to bring your own energy down. It's more important to stay true to yourself. You know that there's no need to act inappropriately or childishly. Together we can rise above this situation, not add to the drama and heavy energy that surrounds it. You always act like a perfect gentleman or a perfect lady, and I can assist you in behaving appropriately, calmly, yet with heartfelt emotion. So it's talking about curbing how you speak with people and how you treat people. Then let you see the true potential for this relationship and also allow you to relax and enjoy the experience. You can plant a cherry tree in your own backyard to protect you from partnerships that aren't for your highest good. There you go. It's a feminine energy too, and it's really lovely. It's pale pink, very pale pink. And I think there's an actual festival in Japan, and they had, when I went to Japan, they had all these cherry blossom trees in the car yards. So, or they had bunting, like banners with for sale cars, and they had cherry blossom season. It was a big event in February every year. I went to the Shinto castle there. It was amazing. That's where the Karate Kid was made, and I just found it incredible. So lucky to have been taken there. So that's what I did there. And who I went with, or who took me there, was Compton, that was his name. I don't remember his first name, but he and his lovely wife, who was a teacher, took me there to have a look at the Shinto castle. It was a very, very nice experience. King of Summer, because I happened to be dating a guy back then, and he was from overseas on a tour of duty with all of these people I met through the Air Force, and one of them was Compton, and he was looking after me when I went to visit this big love I had as a young, stupid teenager, and they were really kind because I was kind to them. I took them around to the sanctuaries, the park sanctuaries like the koalas, and took them places because I'd met this guy and fell in love. All I thought was love, being a teenager. But it was nice to have been able to be shown around Japan. Japan's an amazing city, absolutely amazing. But this was actually Okinawa. Okinawa was amazing too. The oldest mushroom, I think, grows there, and people live to a really old age because of their lifestyle. So we've got here King of Summer. Beautiful. This is a lovely card. This is your counterpart. Maybe someone in your future will be coming in, a new romantic partner, or could be an old one. It's a King of Cups that represents the Cancer, Scorpio, or Pisces energy. They have excellent advice that comes from the heart. They're very deep. They're very intense. They take things to heart. They get very emotional, but you wouldn't even know it on the surface because they tend to hide and guard their emotions from people they don't know or trust. But underneath that fun side, there's a really very deep person, very deep personality, and they will be very protective of their family and friends, and so they also are very protective of their beliefs and what their causes are, whether it be the fish, the oceans, the parks, the wildlife. They're concerned with flora and fauna, and they've got very good father figure, a paternal person that looks out for people. Very caring. They're the counterpart to the Queen of Summer. Very emotional. So you've got someone like that coming into your future, Virgo. And then you have the Chariot, which is to do with travel. It's a Sagittarian card, and Sagittarians are known for being gregarious and they love to go on road trips. So you might be going on a road trip soon, Virgo. Maybe that's what you need to do, get out of the house more. If you can get someone to take you to a park or the pool, just to get outside if you've been not well and you just need to refresh and regain your strength, then I would go and step into nature. Try and guard yourself against those negative thoughts and guide and steer yourself through the positive thoughts. They're very truthful. Virgos are very loyal. I find a Virgo and Sagittarian and Leo are very similar energies. And Scorpio, once they promise you something, they'll bend over backwards to do it for you. If they say they're going to do something, they usually do it. So they don't like people that are wishy-washy. They like people that are straight up and honest and not liars. They can't stand lying. So they're high quality people. So Sagittarians are all about truth. They're truth seekers, and they tell the truth, nothing but the truth. That's what I'm getting to someone, so help me God. This Sagittarian is, he's quick to get on the horse, and he's trying to steer those dragonflies through the murky waters and get to the truth of the matter. You can also represent a car, so it might be talking about a new car for some Virgos. Okay, and then we've got the Hermit. The Hermit is to do with you. The Hermit is the card of Virgo, and it represents going within and doing that inner work. So you may have some counselling you need to go to, or a psychologist you need to see, and that person will be there for you to guide you through all your sadness and grief and things that you're trying to work through. And see how she's holding the light. She's holding that beautiful lamp. That lamp is, sorry about that, I live with people. That is my shining light for other people. And then you've got the what is that called? The pentagram, the 6-pointed Star of David. So David might mean something to you if you're a Virgo. It says that this Star of David, she's holding with the orb to try to be the shining light when yours is dim, when you're finding it hard to see anything good in the world. You might be a person around you that always holds you up and shows you that there is good things out there still. You might be mentoring other people. You might need to take a break from society to your commitment to your spiritual growth. You may act as a mentor to children, grandchildren, nieces, nephews. Virgos tend to be good teachers, so you might be teaching other people lessons that they need to learn and master. It also is also the card of the teacher, so that's the Hermit card. And then we have the Princess of Autumn. Studious, responsible, cheerful, mischievous. Happy news about your career, promotions or scholarships. Well thought out plans that go perfectly, needing a little push to get going. So, okay, we've got here around you, this is again a Taurus, Capricorn or Virgo. Maybe this is the person you need to guide out of the darkness. They could be younger than you, they could be a brother, sister, family member, and they look to you for, you know, what to do. You're like their big brother, big sister, you know, person that looks out for them and shows them how to behave accordingly. So that's what that talks about. Being setting a good example to this younger Taurus, Capricorn, or Virgo. They love to learn. They love to read. You know, and they may be a little bit slow to get into something or slow to gain trust because they've probably been hurt in the past. But they are very they're good friends. Yeah, that's what it's saying here. They're a good friend. They'll come in and help out in family situations as well because they want to understand, they want to observe and understand how to fix situations. They're fixers, they're doers. They can be mischievous and tricksters sometimes, but they underneath it all, they've got a very good heart. They just sometimes express it the wrong way, a bit like Aquarians do. Okay, so then we've got in here the Prince of Wands. He's charming, he's self-confident, he's passionate, he's restless, he's successful. And, you know, it's just he likes to have a passionate relationship. He might be younger, Sagittarius, Leo, Aries, or maybe he's just young at heart. Or he may have Leo in his chart if you're the Virgo with the Leo in your chart. But it's saying here, in your future, you'll be with this fire sign. And see how he's running through with the big rabbit? So he's got big energy, he's fast-moving energy. And usually on a Taurus card, it's a small rabbit, a small animal. This is a big rabbit, big energy. This comes through the door. You know when they enter. So they're restless. They're self-confident. They like to be in the spotlight. They like the attention. So if you want to steal the attention, good luck to that. They're not the ones that want to compete. You don't want to knock them off their throne. They like to have loyal subjects. They like people to admire them and look up to them. They're also very good parents as well, and they like the big lions of the jungle, and they stake out their territory, and they make sure that people know that that's my lioness, or that's my cubs, and don't mess with them because they're mine. So they're very protective. I get that energy as well, just like the King of Cups. So then we'll pull from the Wisdom of the Oracle by Colette-Baron-Reid. This is a good deck because it's got nice imagery as well. And it's a good oracle card to pull. We've got all the signs out today. We've got lots of water in this reading, lots of fire, and a fair bit of earth. And a healthy dose of air. The thing is, with fire, air whips up fire really quickly. So they can be a little bit, rub each other the wrong way. And what do you put fire out with? Water. So you need someone's emotional energy to calm down the fire in the air signs. New life, new beginnings. So that's a good card to get. If you're looking for that new job, I reckon that's what that's about. The new job or the new way of making money. It's like she's come out of a shell. So maybe you're re-emerging from a shell of your former self and you're gaining your confidence back and you're getting back to where you were before. Oh, come to the edge. That's a risk. I'm taking a risk, taking a leap of faith. I'm getting out of that. Spirit of the place. Oh, that's a good card to get. I like that card. Yeah. It's like, talks about the land that before, when it was, before it was built upon or agricultured upon, sometimes land inherits certain feelings and behaviours from what went on in the past. So like when someone divided up a land and built a town on it, it talks about what if there was slavery involved or if there was something where it went which was not good circumstances. It can talk about not good circumstances. Sorry, that's not phone. It hopefully goes to message bank. Right, so we've got coming to life. There you go. There's the dawn of coming out of something that was bad. And something good has come from something bad. Sometimes that can happen. We have to go through our darkest day in order to come into the light. So we've got here the first card. New life. Bursting out of that egg. Oops, that's thread one. Wrong one. Easily done. Birth of new ideas, growth, opportunities, a breath of fresh air, life renewing itself. When spring awakens the world, joy and excitement can be felt all around and in your very core. Blossoms burst from trees overnight, birds return home and sing their glorious song, and nature is full of promise. Miracles beckon all of us. This is one of those times in your life when new ideas inspire you and new opportunities bring you growth or hope for seeing your dreams come true. All is well in your world and you have the energy you need to feel renewed. Allow your heart to fill with enthusiasm. Let your light shine, for this is a good time of good fortune. There's new energy enters old relationships, and new relationships are bursting with a sweetness and vibrancy only encountered when winter gives way to spring. This is a time to connect with others and share excitement, passion, and hearts full of joy. This card is a very auspicious card with respect to love and partnerships in all of the forms. You have every reason to be optimistic right now, as things seem to fall into place magically. New opportunities might remind you that abundance is available to you. Delight in the bounty that begins to appear in surprising forms, and know that your hopes and dreams are being fulfilled. It's as if new life suddenly infuses your projects, work, creative ideas with a kind of electricity that crackles with exciting potential. Fortune is smiling on you. Then we've got next card. I pulled out those two. Come to the edge. It's 36. Courage, taking a leap of faith, overcoming fear and accepting risk. Facing the unknown is the only choice you really have right now if you want to progress. It's okay to be afraid. Now is the time to take a risk that is not calculated, to feel the exhilaration as you ready yourself for a leap of faith. Spirit is present, so let go of fear. You are called to express your true self. Listen to your heart and soul, not your head. Come to the edge and discover that you can fly. You must step into unfamiliar so you can find your miracle. It's scary to be truly intimate with someone. You allow them to see all of you, especially the parts you've kept hidden and protected. Now is the time to take that risk and let yourself be seen, truly seen. It's important that you speak up, voice what you need, state who you are, say what you hope for. This is not the time to play it safe, but to take a leap of faith. You will be glad you did. If you're seeking a relationship, the same applies. Take one step towards the goals and they will deliver what you truly desire. If ever there was a time for you to take a leap of faith into the unknown, it is now. This is the perfect moment to take a big risk. The unknown is the only choice now, and if you come to the edge, you'll soon discover treasure beyond your wildest dreams. Allow your courage to lead you in spite of your fears, and you don't need to know the exact form of what you're going for. The essence is much more powerful, and spirit is a way of delivering an even better version of prosperity than you could imagine. Take the step. The results will be amazing. It's telling you to take a risk. Maybe it's that new job, that new place that you want to live, that new occupation. It's telling you to, sometimes it is good to take a risk. And then we have the spirit of the place, 4. Authenticity is the name of power. Our ancient ancestors believed that every place has a spirit looking after it or embodying it. Just as we have a soul, the plant, trees, birds, mountains and rivers have their own essences. When the spirit of the place arrives in your reading, it says that the answer to your query is in the overarching theme of your circumstances. In your question about a struggle, the answer is to relax and let go of the need to control the situation. If your inquiry relates to finding love, then embody love rather than long for it. Once you find the essential truth that underlies your question and then name it, you'll discover the answer you've been seeking. Your greatest power is your authenticity. Don't get tangled in details or desires that obscure the truth of your situation. Step back and ask yourself, what is the real nature of my inquiry? Even exquisitely seductive, hidden agendas cannot conceal this. Yes. Trust your intuition. Trust what is authentic and what is not. Coming to life, 29. When you look at your life and you look back, you don't want to have regrets, my son told me. Can you see how you've grown and evolved? Perhaps you've shed many skins, this is Scorpion energy, and identities, and created new ones, or at the very least matured in your ideas about yourself and the world you inhabit. You know things take time, and Spirit's timetable is rarely in sync with your own. This card indicates that a long-held dream is beginning to show signs of life. You must try not to coax it along or shape it according to your desires. Spirit knows the best form of the manifestation of this dream, and your life can become even better than you could possibly imagine. Now is the time for reverence and awe. Allow the contours of your path to be carved by the hands of the divine. All you have to do is show up. Some of you might work with wood. It's a very hands-on type of job. You might have wood in your chart, like a wood tiger in your chart. But it's saying about working with your hands. So instead of you shaping something by hand, let it come to life in your hands. If you're working with clay, you might be shaping something one way and then it becomes something else and you run with that. Something coming out of nothing is what it's saying. Something emerging from the womb. So some of you might be having children, or someone around you is having a baby. It's saying that it's coming to light. So it's coming from under, like the Scorpion energy, it's coming from the dark into the light. So it's, I'm getting, someone who may be expecting a baby, it may be coming through in 11 weeks. Maybe that's a thing for someone. And it's being shaped and formed and comes out to the light. So something maybe being hidden will be revealed to you. That's what I'm also getting. Something that is being hidden from view, and you won't know about it till 11 weeks' time. Could be to do with work, the birth of a business, the birth of a baby. 11 weeks I'm getting. Something to do with 11. 11's a powerful number. 21 and 11. I keep getting 11s and 21s, and it has to do with the gateway. 1111 is the Four of Wands. If you look at it on the card, it's repeated twice, so it's a doorway, a gateway, an opening into the unconscious. They say when you look at the clock and you see 1111, you're meant to make a wish. It means your angels are around you. Legs 11 I'm getting. Someone might have issues with their legs. You might have sore legs, arthritic legs, vein problems. 11, legs. Something to do with legs. Lower back too. If I get someone has lower back issues or lower back pain. So maybe someone of you out there maybe need to look at using a heat rub, hot bath routine, hot heater, wheat packs, things like that, just to alleviate, or not go too hard, not when you go back into an exercise routine, not to just to take baby steps, not to go full on, and get a good pair of shoes. I'm getting someone out there needs to replace their shoes or put inner soles in their shoes, like sports cushioning. They go underneath the heel for heel pain. You get them, I think, through pharmacies or from dollar shops. I've seen them at hot dollar shops. And you just put them in the bottom of the ball or the heel. They put it around the heel. And it could be to do with the arch. Someone might have flat feet. I'm getting them. They need to put in a support inside their shoe. Orthotics or orthopedics. Yeah. So you maybe need to look into like a possibly really good pair of shoes, like homoped shoes for someone that might need those instead of the fashion shoes. You can't wear them for long periods. They're no good for your back and your spine. So if you're walking over 5Ks a day, you need to get a good pair of shoes. That's what I'm picking up. Hopefully that helps someone out there that's a Virgo.